A very good morning, Zimbabwe. My name is Ronald Wekwamakusha, and this morning I have come with a very sensitive discussion, a very sensitive topic here. And without fear or favor, I am going to explore and take a look. Rhodesia versus Zimbabwe. We are talking about this issue because of the independence. We celebrated the independence yesterday, and there is a real need for the people of Zimbabwe to reflect, tell the truth, and be honest. So, taking a look on the Ian Smith regime, taking a look on the Ian Smith government, the fighters or the liberation fighters who brought independence fought Ian Smith mainly because of land. They said, "We want our land back." That is what they demanded. The land comprised of agriculture, it comprised of mining, it comprised of tourism. The reason is because wherever you find a tourist attraction in Zimbabwe, it's on land. Be it in Kariba, be it in Chimanimani, be it in Victoria Falls, in Masvingo, Great Zimbabwe, wherever you go, the tourist attractions are on land. And they wanted to own those tourist attractions so that the people of Zimbabwe can easily access, and secondly, the country can benefit from those tourist attractions. There was also an issue of minerals. Zimbabwe wanted to own minerals. Zimbabwe wanted to benefit from the minerals. That is the reason why our fathers went to war. They wanted to benefit from gold, from diamonds, from lithium, from platinum, from chrome, and all sorts of minerals we have. They wanted to benefit, not necessarily through mining themselves, but they wanted the country to benefit from those minerals. Let us talk about agriculture. During Ian Smith, farms belonged to whites, and black people were in reserves. They wanted to do farming. They wanted that land so badly so that they can do agriculture, so that they can venture into agricultural activities. What did Ian Smith do? Ian Smith created some parastatals like GMB, like DMB, like vana Kotco dzakazochinjwa mazita dzakunzi Kotco, Cotton Company of Zimbabwe. So many companies were created. These companies were meant vana CSC. We adopted vana CSC from Ian Smith. All these companies, they were meant to cushion the local farmers. They were meant to assist local farmers with marketing. So we have Grain Marketing Board, GMB. The role of GMB is not to put pressure on people, is not to keep maize. Because GMB is now dura renyika rakunzi dura renyika rakuchengeta chibage. But the main purpose of GMB was not to keep maize on behalf of the government. The role of GMB was not to distribute maize on behalf of the government, to source maize on behalf of the government. No, that wasn't the role of GMB. The role of GMB at its formation was to make sure that they take all maize from farmers in Zimbabwe. Then they look at a country without maize and say, we have these maize, these tons of maize purchased from us. Then they will purchase this maize at a higher price. Then they will just remove administration costs and pay farmers their dues. What it means, every farmer was going to benefit. Ndikarima inini 10 tons. I was going to benefit from those 10 tons. Instead of selling to Makorokoza, who would have my international markets, we are putting together our things so that we can sell to other countries at a better profit. This is a guaranteed market. CSC the same. Ndari mahuku dzangu 100, iwewo ari panext door dzake 100, uyo 250, uyo 3000 wechi. We put them together, we sell. That was the idea. But right now, ZANU-PF came, Zimbabwe. They destroyed everything. They looted everything from CSC, and right now, CSC is nothing. Nothing. GMB is now being used sedura renyika. GMB is now used to buy maize on behalf of the government. But ukaverenga rakanzi marketing, what does marketing say? Marketing. Who does marketing? Is it the buyer or the seller who does marketing? So, who hires a marketing expert? Who hires a marketing expert? Is it the buyer arkupindama okay, or is it okay? Andumrupon. So if things go vice versa, there is a problem. There is a problem. So we have seen the people of Zimbabwe accepting gullible decisions which have been made by these people. Right now, let us talk about the issue of minerals. During the Smith regime, the majority of the mines in Zimbabwe were owned by the government. Government owned several mines. But come to Zimbabwe, some of those mines, they have been privatized. Come to Zimbabwe, the government of Zimbabwe never pursued the issue of mining. We know that gold is the most valuable thing which we have. Diamond is the most valuable thing which we have. Platinum is also valuable. Chrome is valuable. We have all these valuable minerals which we have here in Zimbabwe. Government should have realized that we don't have war in Zimbabwe. So they were supposed to use that opportunity of peace to run mining companies solely owned by the government. That is tinema claims ari kuonwa negovernment. Government ichitaura kuti we are issuing my licenses to ourselves tichiita mining munyika yeZimbabwe. Number one, Zimbabwe was going to have its own gold. Tine masoja akagara kumabharaki vasina zvavari kuita, hakuna hondo. Vanodefenda sei nyika? Because the role of soldiers is to defend the sovereignty of a country. When a country doesn't have its own money, its sovereignty is at risk. So we could have seen our soldiers vachitoenda kunomaina goridhe because hatina hondo, vari kugarira mumabharaki, vari kutambirirei. We could have seen part of the soldiers getting into the mines vachitanga kunomaina. I'm talking about these soldiers on the case yekuti Zimbabwe is incapacitated, hatina chi. We are already paying masoja. Ngavaende kavanomaina goridhe. Because tikava negoridhe vatochengetedza sovereignty yenyika, haichatambwe nayo, haichatambwe bhora. That is the reason why you see masoja anoenda kuma-disasters achinobatsira, masoja anoenda kunovaka, vanogona kuvaka zvipatara, vanogona kuvaka zvikoro. That is the reason why the army recruits all those people vane ma-skills iwayo. Saka taifanira kunge takaona our military chipping in terms of doing transparent mining activities, where they were going to mine gold specifically for the country. Instead of deploy masoja kunorova vanhu, you are supposed to deploy these soldiers to do meaningful things. Goridhe romainwa, diamond romainwa, roenda ronochengetwa pa RBZ. Right? Then tine gold redu rakawanda sei gold ratinaro riri worth 50 billion kana kuti 100 billion. Motaura kuti right, our gold in the reserves is worth 100 billion US dollars ratamaina senyika. So let us use this gold to back up our currency. How much do we need as a country per budget renyika? You'd see we were going to back our currency and it was going to become the best currency in Africa. Especially with the coming of sanctions on Zimbabwe. These sanctions had restrictions on movement of United States dollars, a currency which we don't own. So with the coming of sanctions, if Zimbabwe had prioritized the issue of mining gold and stocking gold, zvarakaitwa kuBritain rakastokwa rakavigwa rakawanda rakatorwa kunoku rikaendwa naro, dai vakaristoka the same way zvaisambotinetsa, because maingoti right varume isusu tiri kuproducer matani mangane gold per year. What is the value? Saka, can we take 10 billion worth of gold to beka currency yedu, moto beka currency yenyu ne gold? What it means is, if I go to South Africa with Zimbabwean dollars, I can transact in South Africa. In return, South Africa will come with the same Zimbabwean dollars and say, here is your money. It is backed by gold. Give us gold. Hamuna need yekuswera muchiita trade yegoridhe yamuri kuita iyi muchituma vana Macmillan. You just need to use gold as a backup of your currency. Then my transactions akutozviita ega. Anybody with your currency can come and claim gold. With the same value, that same person could come claim gold or claim another currency. Because currency yenyu yatova ne-asset value iripo. Tiri kuti isisu nyika senyika tine goridhe iri ndo ratiri kuti upfumi hwenyika hwakabata nyika. So you'd see that the pound mairiti chira ere shanda muZimbabwe was the Rhodesian pound was strong, or the Rhodesian dollar was strong because it was backed up by something. Ian Smith backed this currency with something. But after this government came in, they withdrew all reserves. Right now, mining is being done by makorokoza arikungopiwa mining claims, private owners varikungopiwa mining claims, vari kumaina resource yenyika, the special resource yenyika ichingoenda mahara. Zviri kureva kuti isusu senyika we are benefiting nothing. Special resource yenyika was supposed to be mined by the government for the benefit of the people of Zimbabwe. We wanted to stop the looting of our minerals by Western countries, British and UK countries. We wanted to stop that looting of our minerals so that we can replace by looting of the same minerals through private companies. Inini ndikamaina goridhe inini nyika inobenefita chii because the bigger chunk of that gold ndini ndaitora. Why are you licensing issue yegold? Chiregaika vanhu vangomaina pavari kudira, chiregaika vanhu vangotora goridhe pavari kudira. Kana musiri kuda kurimaina, you were supposed to, the reason why we are issuing licenses is to prohibit private players to just mine our gold, so that we empower the public player, which is the government. Because inini I'm represented by an MP. Ndiye ari kundirepresenta mugovernment. MP weku community kwangu ndiye representative wangu mugovernment. I am talking to the government through him. I'm being represented muhurumende, which means kana hurumende ikaona mamine, inini as an individual ndato benefita through that MP. The resources will be distributed from the top which is mining, because we cannot do everything tese. That is the management iripo. This is like a company in a management at the top, but it is going to benefit everybody down kusvika to the last shareholder anobenefita. Saka ike zvinezvi we now have vanhu vasiri part of the company who are benefiting from the company. Why? It's because of greed. The people of ZANU-PF, the leaders from ZANU-PF, they don't want to own my mine because they believe kuti ivo ndo vanofana kuita mari, voita influence, voita power. That is the reason why vachikudzai, hey, there is gold rush in Zimbabwe, there is this in Zimbabwe, there is that in Zimbabwe. That is nonsense. We want to see the government owning these things, running these things efficiently and transparently, so that they benefit the people of Zimbabwe. Because these are resources. Ndo zvakarwirwa hondo yacho. It was about land, nothing else. So taking a look on Zimbabwe versus Rhodesia, I believe that when the nationalists came in, they adopted the wrong policies. They ran this country down themselves. This issue of sanctions, this datica, I apply. Unozaka zvimwe zvinhu, yes, sanctions do have effects, but ano apply rapa. I don't believe they apply kuti tisvike pamaproblems atinayo, because maproblems atinawo akangogadzirwa nevanhu vanokara. Looting of resources. Ike zvino toda privatize ichi, toda privatize ichi, toda privatize ichi. Everything is being privatized. Nana fidelity, nana. Why are you doing so? It's because mafoira. It's because imimi senyika matadza kuti nyika ibenefite, matadza kuti vanhu vabenefite. So inini ndo maonero angu mapfupi pupi. Tikatarisa nguva ya Ian Smith, according to the information which we have, vanagogo vedu vakaenda kuzvipatara during the Ian Smith regime and during the Zimbabwean government. During that period of time, vaenda kuzvipatara, votakurwa nema-ambulances, vorifewa kuma referral hospitals, vachita se. But right now, it's no longer happening. They speak about it so much. Kuti kunyange hazvo murungu anga akaipa, asi taienda kuchipatara, taisamira muqueue, taiwana mishonga, taisabhadhariswa mari. But right now, pese bhadhara, this bhadhara, that bhadhara, this bhadhara, that. Madokta enguva yacho vaiva nerudo, because vanhu vaipinda basa achiti ndinoda kuita basa iri. Vaike zvino vakupinda basa just because hakuna zvimwe zvekuita, izvozvo ndo zvitori nani, zvekuti you can be guaranteed at least kuwana basa. So amen, imimi ndimunoziva kuti Zimbabwe iri zvaifanira kunge iri here kana kuti kwete.